Okay, guys, who's seen the Snoopy's cartoons? Where they have the kids and they're sitting in class and they're listening to the teacher and he goes, womp 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 womp. Okay. My quote is by Ambrose Bierce, and it is, a person who you want to listen talks, and a person that you want to a bore is a person who talks when you want him to listen. I think we've all dealt with people like that in our lives who we've gone to for help, whether it's a teacher, a parent, a friend, a pastor, and we say, hey, I got a problem with this, and they tell you, they just keep talking and talking and talking, and you can't even get your thoughts out. And I think a few of the other topics we've talked about have covered that with like the hammer and the nail. You get the one person who's got all these ideas and they're just exploding to tell you, and they don't even let you get a word out. And I think we also deal with that with relationships. You have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you're sitting there at dinner, and you want to talk, and you want to respond, but they just don't talk. There's no punctuations in their statements at all. It is one run-on sentence after another. And I think a lot of us just have that issue with, you want to just scream and just stop. Just stop. Please stop. Stop. So, from personal experience, I've had girlfriends who don't know when to stop. You could even tell them to stop, and they don't listen. They just keep talking and talking. I've had teachers who, when they do a lecture and a student asks a question, and their response is the rest of the class time. They explain it so much, it's almost repetitive, redundant, and it gets bland. So, if you're in that situation and you have a person come to you, you need to state your point and also reiterate their question to you, and you gotta let them get their piece in, because sometimes when they respond to what you say, it could bring up other things. Thank you, guys.
Hopefully she picks mine. Yeah.
I think you went this way. I think I did this. I think I'm flying it on. Well, yeah, I mean, we're getting them too.
I don't know.
By then we'll only
Hang on.
have 15 minutes for the exam.
All right, Frank, I think you've got that fun example to start with, although you got a little stuck because you couldn't quite remember the quote, and so that tripped up your introduction a little bit. Once you get the quote out and remind yourself what it was that you were trying to say, then I think you're a little bit more effective. But it seems like you should have that planned a little bit better. There's not really a preview of what the supporting structure is going to be, and I kind of get 2 or 3 ideas here. There's some reference to speeches that people are making, there's relationships, and I guess teachers would be a separate category also. So although there is indirectly by example some structure, it does feel a little random somewhat. So I think you want to be careful about that. The explanations and examples that you come up with are all usually pretty good. I think you do strain and stretch that one about the relationships a little bit. You make the point. You seem like you get a little bit lost, and then you just change the pacing while you're speaking to emphasize the idea, which I think is an interesting idea. But in addition to making the idea flow with you, it also stretches out the fact that you really are struggling for something to say on that particular point. So I can see that you're covering there, but you did an okay job on it. You tried to make it work for you, and that's better than just standing there hoping that some other idea is going to come to you. I thought that you were very good when you were projecting your voice. There's a lot of variety while you're speaking. Your facial expressions and your audience contact are excellent. You've got really good gestures. So you've got good delivery skills here when you're talking. You just need a little bit more content, and you need to remember the point that you're trying to make. You got to put that together with something more substantive, and I think you'll be better off. At the end of the speech, I could tell it felt a little bit abrupt, sort of like you just hit a left turn and took it quickly and you were done. If you'd had a structure, you could at least summarize and remind us the point that you were trying to make, and I think that would be a little bit more effective. Thank you.